Hello, everybody. I'm Jalen, and welcome to episode 25 of my Minecraft Survival World and to the World Tour. Been in this world for just over a year now, and I've played just under 1,900 Minecraft days, which I'll hop into a creative copy of the world at the end and show you how you look that up in Minecraft Bedrock. But yeah, thought it'd be fun to just take a little tour around the world here and start with a nice little flyover of the area. I haven't expanded from here much at all. I've pretty much just been building up this area best I can, and I've really had fun just watching it grow, and I'm really happy with where we're at. And we're just going to kind of go through things in the general order of the episodes that we made them best we can, starting here at episode 1 where we got our starter base built. But we're actually really going to start with where it actually started, which is the little hidey hole we got down here. I like to try to keep everything I build, so as I build it, I never really build anything with plans of it not being part of the world. So even my first little hidey hole, I'd like to try to turn into a cool little living space. And yeah, it doesn't take much to get a nice little comfortable area to work out of to get things going, and I think it's fun to have down here. But we didn't spend too much time here though, because it wasn't long before I jumped into getting my starter base built. And this is always going to be a very special build for me, being in my first Minecraft video, first YouTube video. And I just remember really getting in the zone, and I was just it was a special time getting this build going. And yeah, I just really like how it came out. I like how it's so different looking from all the different angles. And I like how the cherry wood and the bamboo wood actually go together. I was doing that because it was the start of 1.20, so I was experimenting with the new wood, and I thought it came out looking better than I might have thought. So yeah, this is where we spent about the first half a year, first half of the season, and we got it pretty comfortable in here. I really like how the interior came out. I stay pretty organized. I'm not going to show you all my storage, but you can see everything has a spot, and I'm doing really good at not leaving a bunch of chest monsters around my world or anything. And yeah, it's been a real nice place to live. I still come back here quite often because I've got a lot of my items here. And I thought we got the interior looking good. Got a little extra storage up here. Pretty well laid out interior. I hope to improve my interiors quite a bit. That's something I want to focus on. But and here we got our enchanter and kind of my workstation area. And it was a nice place to live. That same episode, we at least got started on this crop farm down here. We've definitely made it look better throughout the upcoming episodes, but just getting it all laid out, having it kind of flow on down the hill here. I really like how it came together. And got all the crops, a little bit of everything. Just trying to have a nice convenient starter area. And I really like the path type we got going here. I hope to expand that all throughout the base. I think it looks good down here, but that was something we did quite a bit later. And yeah, next episode, we got going on our windmill down here. And again, I really enjoyed putting this together. Going crazy with the cherry wood and bamboo, but I was really having fun with it to go with the new update theme to start the season. I was planning on this being a villager-powered wheat farm, but I ended up moving that somewhere else, so we just turned this into a storage place for our crops. We've been doing quite a bit of trading with my farmer villagers mainly to have golden carrots and mend my tools. But yeah, overall I really like how the windmill came together here. We also made little custom trees, save the bees. Then we went on to build this barn over here. It was my first time going with a pretty big scale for a barn, so it ended up being really cool. We got this task board, which I haven't done a very good job of keeping you updated on or updating myself. But yeah, the barn I thought just came out really cool, and just going with a little bit bigger scale than usual, I was just able to really get the nice rounded trim, which I think is what makes it so cool here. And just nice place for animals, and I really liked the cherry wood theme, just sticking with the theme for the area. And a few episodes later, we built the interior, not your typical barn interior. Made a little animal sanctuary in here, and I need to give myself more of a reason to come back here. I haven't been back here in a while, and I really like this place. I plan on doing things like this throughout the world here and there. But yeah, just got our animals in here, and a couple custom trees, which I don't have enough of at all in this world, and two of my, or at least the oak I like. I don't know, I feel like I'm missing a branch there. But yeah, got our custom trees hiding in this barn, so that's probably not a good idea. But yeah, I really like how it came out here. We'll go ahead and go to sleep away this rainstorm. In the next episode, we got going on our tree farms, which I went pretty big with and really expanded all throughout the base. You saw my starter area was the spruce farm, essentially. And yeah, this is kind of the mangrove farm. Just give each tree pretty much its own little biome. Nice big area for each tree. So if I need a bulk of any kind, creeper hole I didn't know was there. But yeah, if I needed a whole bunch of birch, come down to the birch area. And each area it's got its own look to it, and they're all separated from themselves really nicely. So you walk into the dark oak area and you don't even realize the birch area is over there. And I really like the vibe each area has, and I plan on going through each one and just kind of detailing and putting a cabin or some kind of theme in each one. I've done it with the oak forest, which we'll check out here in a bit. But yeah, give each one a little love. I know I've said that since I built this and haven't done it, and that's a long time ago, but I do plan on making a project of really focusing on the spawn area at some point, but that could be a while. And more on that later. But yeah, I really like this idea for tree farms. It's just an easy way to make your base feel a lot bigger. We also did the path network on that episode as well, so all this pathing that you're seeing, and I think that ends up overall being one of my favorite parts of my whole entire base. Do a little walk through the mangrove forest, which I like the vibe in here, and it'll be fun to come through with like some mud and all that and make it look real cool. And that connects to the acacia forest here. Again, getting our path network all laid out with the simple little bridges. And yeah, just having the access to a bulk of all the different wood types is just real nice. And yeah, nice simple bridges. We can always come back and upgrade them at some point if we want, but they definitely do the trick. And like I said, the base area is kind of the spruce forest, and spruce forest is my favorite type, so I thought I would have that be what surround my starter base. Work our way down here, we'll run into the cherry wood forest. I think this area turned out real cool, and I look forward to detailing this one just because I think it'll be fun to work with. It's going to be a custom tree that I don't like how it's come out so far, so I'm going to tear that down. And I'm realizing that I've chopped trees and they haven't grown back yet, so it doesn't look as cool as it usually does. Work our way up here, we actually come on the oak forest, which is the only one that I actually did go through and kind of detail it to a level that I hope to do with all the other areas, even though it's going to be a huge job. But yeah, I like coming up here, nice little view of the nether portal over there. And yeah, you can just kind of feel the extra touch of detail in here. And got an awesome log cabin back here and a cool little wood chopping area. I just really like how this came out. And I plan on this being where I store a bunch of oak wood, but I've just been doing so much building and not much gathering. That's one thing about how I've been playing so far. My resources are low. But yeah, I really like this little forest here, and like I said, just totally, when you're in here, you forget cherry forest below you, you forget everything's around you, you can just really get yourself immersed. But yeah, then we got going on the nether portal, which I turned the area over here into a custom acacia forest. Nice place to get the acacia leaves if I need them, and it just turned out looking really cool. But yeah, building the nether portal. This was my first time really doing a big, cool nether portal like this, and it's definitely a project worth doing. I'm going to start doing it a lot more often because it's just really cool to have in the background of my world. And yeah, that's about it for the top of the hill here. But we have put a lot of work into the side of the hill as well. Nice little view of the villager island, which we'll be checking out here in a little bit. But yeah, we really put work going into the mountain as well, starting with our mine down here. First thing we built, and I really like how it came out. Got the smelter there and just cool little mine building. And I like our dock here with the crane and the one and only boat I've ever built in Minecraft. And yeah, just a place to store a lot of my geological stuff. Stones and dirt. Obviously you can see I do not have much. I've been doing a lot of terraforming lately actually, so it's really gone through my materials. Yeah, nice little room down here with a stairwell down to all the different levels of mining, all the way down to -58. I do still need to decorate this area a little bit, but overall I'm liking the mine area down here. It's got an elevator that heads up to the microfarms. Microfarm Mountains, what I call it. And yeah, this is supposed to be a villager-powered wheat or carrot farm. I didn't quite finish getting that one set up, but I got the villager in here doing work. And yeah, I'll come back and use this quite a bit. It just creates a little bit of wheat, but it's usually enough when I need some for some mud bricks or something like that. That's kind of the idea for all these farms up here, is just to slowly be producing a little bit of a lot of the resources. Some farms produce a lot more than others. I do have lots of bamboo under there. And yeah, I just think the area overall looks really cool. Down here we got our pumpkin farm, which I use them more than anything, just trading with my farmers. So I've used lots of pumpkins out of there. And over here we got our sugarcane farm, which is always nice to have just for rockets mainly. Just always have a sugarcane handy for rockets and a little bit of trading with villagers. And you can see all the interiors. I just kind of went with the theme of whatever the farm is for. I didn't really point out I like the tree. That was one of my favorite parts of the interiors I did here. Yeah, I got our cactus farm here. Definitely produces more cactus than I'll ever need. I wish there was a better use for cactus somehow. Maybe I'll come up with one sometime and I'll be prepared. Down here is going to be the food farm. So far we've just got the chicken cooker in here. I planned on doing a cow cooker and a pig farm, but I need to come back and do that, even though food is not a problem at this point. Yeah, bee farm in here. I really like how this interior came out. I had to follow a tutorial for the actual farm itself on this one. That was the first bee farm I ever built. I like how it came together. And then last but not least, we got our melons down here, which again are just really nice to have for trading with villagers. I've got a couple farmers that were cured zombies, so get an emerald for each one. Same for pumpkins. And yeah, once again, I really like the paths. It was kind of a challenge getting them to work their way up this mountain, but I just think it turned out really cool, and it just looks really cool, and it's just easy to navigate. Yeah, you can see we put in more work in some areas than others as far as detailing some of these rock walls. That's another big job I need to do, is just slowly but surely chip away at getting that done on a whole bunch of rock walls throughout the world. This one, for example, needs some work done to it. And yeah, I got a couple areas of some prime real estate down here. Look forward to figuring out something to do here. And then just last episode, we actually got this bridge built here and connects to the jungle over there, which ends up completing the loop of our whole base area. So our whole base area is connected by the path network. Goes all the way through and across over to the island and all the way around. So I was really happy to get that done. Yeah, last thing over here on the actual spawn mountain is the sheep farm we got built down here. Little sheep farm cavern. Yeah, just got one sheep for each color. And I've moved some of this wool elsewhere in certain places, but yeah, it produces enough wool for my needs for now. I would love to come up with a build that needs so much color it's not enough wool, but I've never done that before. And yeah, anytime you could build with color is just always one of my favorites. Just have an excuse to go crazy with the color, and it just pops so nice. And I thought this area overall just came out really cool. And I really like the view from down here looking at the villager island over there. Yeah, as the sun goes down here, it'd be kind of cool to give you a little view of the area at nighttime, because I do really like how it looks at night around here. We've got it all lit up. The whole villager island, except the forest, I guess, but the whole villager island's all spawn-proof and lit up nicely, and just looks so awesome at night. So does the mountain here. Yeah, you can see we got our path all the way around, heading over to the island. My plan for down here was to just have a little island full of life and villagers that can run around freely and have their houses and places they work and taverns they meet at. But it all started with my starter house. Not so much of a starter house, I guess, but this is my base of operations down here. I really like how it came out, and again, just got a little bit of each crop for just to have handy, mainly because I randomly need to trade with villagers every now and then. And yeah, this is where I've lived for the last half a year or so. And I think we got the interior looking really cool in here. A lot bigger, more open concept than my starter base, and it's kind of fun to work with. Building at the angle is always fun. And I think we got it looking pretty good in here. This has been my bedroom where I've slept when I do sleep. I try to stay up through the nights, but I sleep the phantoms away and sleep the thunderstorms away. A little map there. Overall, it's just been a real comfortable place to live. And then once I got this house established, I had an episode kind of showing my plans and laying out the main path network down here. And after getting the plans laid out, the one thing that was really calling me to get started on was the beach area down here. And this revelation of the mountain is one of my favorite views in the world, so I think that's really cool. But yeah, we got a really cool little beach area down here. And just a couple episodes ago, we actually came back and got the interiors done, made a little bar here. I'll actually go to sleep just so it's not so dark around here. And again, just nice, simple interiors down here. Put a couple workstations, so we always got a couple fishermen on the dock and a cleric over here working the bar so that people can come up from the beach and get a drink. And nothing too fancy, but I like how it came out there. And I think the beach just came out really cool. I love the beach towels and the umbrellas, and I think the view from down here is just really cool. Definitely got the vibe I was going for. These were the first palm trees I ever made, and I thought they came out looking really cool. And I should probably show you this little boat trip back and forth, because I make this trip so often, and I just always enjoy taking in the view of the mountain going this direction. And it's just fun slowly watching it grow. Same goes for the view down here. And a lot like the tree cutting area, one of my favorite parts about the island is how each individual area kind of separates itself. So you can really immerse in the beach vibe here. Even though you got the town right behind it, you can't even really see it's there. And the farm's right over there. Everything's so close, but it feels so far. But yeah, from there, we actually went off and did our first and only build that's actually far away from the spawn area here, out towards the east. But on our way out there, we'll actually go ahead and stop at the iron farm, which I built just a few episodes ago, but well, we're here. And yeah, this is the first iron farm I ever made in all my Minecraft years, so it was a really fun project. I was really happy with it. I see I need to put another hopper in there because there's a piece of iron there, so apparently it hasn't been as efficient as I'd hoped, but I've been getting iron from it. And I look forward to making a big project out of doing something in the jungle there eventually. And yeah, well, we're heading out towards the east here. I figured better stop and show you the reason I picked this seed when I started this world, which is this awesome set of jungle mountains out here. And I know I've showed this area a few times, and to say that now it's been over a year since I've talked about this and I haven't done anything over here, I know that's kind of crazy, but really what my plan is that this is going to be kind of my end game area where I've got just no limitations. I just have tons of resources and I can just really go crazy with the build, because I just do think this is a pretty special area and I really want to take full advantage of it. It's got these awesome jungle valleys surrounded by the really high jungle peaks. And what's so cool about it is that it's just got a couple areas that are all separated from each other. So I just think this is a really cool area. If you had a couple friends and you each kind of took your own section of the jungle, separated from each other but also close, and just all did your own jungle build, I think that'd be a fun little world to have. And the seed will be in the description below. And go ahead and hit that like button while you're down there. Keep heading east and you come up on this really cool mountain range with the cherry grove, which was the first cherry grove I found when the update came out. So I think this is a pretty cool area here. And if we just go over the hill here, we should come up on where I spent the holidays. I'm running low on rockets, so I'm going to try to make it. Ooh yeah. Weave through the trees here and come down here and we find ourselves at our gingerbread house. I thought this came out really cool. Again, first time doing anything like this, and another excuse just to go crazy with the colors, which is always fun, and I really like how it came out. Just tried to get creative with it, and I was pretty happy with myself. And here we got our one and only mending villager, and we actually got mending for 1 diamond on him because he's a cured zombie. So that's been real nice to have, even though I only used him the one time because I haven't lost any of my tools or armor since I got mending on them. But yeah, really fun build here. I hope next winter, I don't know if I'll come back to this area or another area, but I hope to do more of a winter build here before too long. I do like building in the mountains. Made our way back to the main area here, and this is always a cool approach onto the world as well. Nice view of the mountain and the villager island down here, and yeah, getting this villager island all set up is pretty much how we've spent the last quarter of the season, is just getting all these buildings put in, and I'm really liking how it all came together down here. Just last episode, I decided to just fill this up with a forest. I can still come back here and build later, but I'm actually really enjoying having this forest here and the flower fields. I think they just look really cool. And now we'll start making our way through the town here, and the first building we built was the tavern here, and this was before the 1.21 update, so would have been nice to have access to all the copper at that time, but I still really enjoyed putting this build together. Nice simple interior in here. We put the bell in the middle so that everyone will come here and meet in the evenings, and yeah, I have planned on coming and really giving this a makeover. It is a little too simple for me, and we're missing a couple doors from letting the golems out that spawn in there every now and then. But I thought the tavern came together really cool. And then here's a nice view of the main village, and just so much life with the villagers running around, and I'm just really proud of how everything's come along here. And yeah, the villagers are always easy to find, and they tend to stay around their workstations, so I know the farmers are down here. If I want a cartographer, I'm going to find him right here, and there he is. So yeah, the second building we built was our cartographer's house here. I really had fun putting this together, and we also made a bunch of maps in that episode. You can see this one hasn't been updated, and I'm going to go ahead and leave that just for historical value. I think it's kind of cool. Definitely have added a lot since then. And once again, this nice simple interior up here was intended for the villagers to live up here, but they have trouble pathfinding up the stairs, so that didn't go to plan here as well as a couple other places. In the next episode, we actually built all these buildings down here. All the library, armorsmith, toolsmith, stonemason, and a leather worker. And I think they came out really cool. Obviously, we put a little details in the following episodes. Didn't get it all done in one, but I thought it came out looking really cool. And they all have their interiors, nothing fancy, but represent what they are supposed to be for. Again, I intended for the villagers to live up here, but they didn't like pathfinding, so I'm going to have to think of something different to do with that. But I do like how they came out. I think the library across the street here came out really cool. Got a few decent trades on a few of my librarians. I haven't done a great job really getting them up too much, but like I said, I never lost my tools or anything, so I haven't really needed to yet. But yeah, I won't search them down, but we've got at least unbreaking 3 on one, I think protection 4 on another. Yeah, and here we got our toolsmith, kind of similar to the armorsmith, but just different colors, and I think came out looking pretty cool. I actually like how the leather worker shop turned out here, stable as well. And yeah, just kind of used the hanging signs as clothing and way to get a little pop of color in there. And stonemason turned out cool here as well. Just representing what the place is for, nothing too fancy. Got this bridge done last episode. I really liked how it came out, especially with the copper rods. I just think they look really cool. And yeah, you can see we got the path that extends all the way out here over to this island here, which I plan on extending the tree cutting forest into that and have this be an island for the nether trees, have it kind of be another forest island. I think that'll be fun. That'll be a big project though. So yeah, we got some really cool places for the villagers to work here, and like I said, during the day this is really cool. All the life down here, it's by far the coolest world I've ever had. And then I figured the villagers needed a place to live, so a couple episodes later we got going on these townhouses here. And I think this is one of my favorite views in the world as well. They all got nice little simple interiors, just comfortable places for the villagers to live. And I actually enjoy doing these kind of small interiors, just working with what you got, tight space. I do look forward to getting some builds to work on some larger interiors, and I'm sure the building scale will start getting bigger and bigger as we go, even though we are going to take a step backwards in that aspect. More on that in a little bit. But yeah, I think these all turned out really cool. This is my favorite one. I like the interesting shape of the house, really makes a difference, and just a little more room. And that's been a pretty nice little walk through the center of town. I figure we better head out here and take a good peek at the big copper bridge. I know you've seen it a few times already, but you do gotta give it a little attention. I thought the forest is a really cool walkway now. Getting the forest built just makes for this walkway to be a lot more interesting and just creates view revelations, which is a big part of making your world cool. So I thought this was a cool view down here. We'll go ahead and take a flight and see it from out here though. And I was really proud of this when we got it all done. Just getting that rounded shape. Pretty challenging, but I thought it came out looking really cool. And it's a pretty big bridge, 63 blocks across, which is a pretty big build for me. I don't usually go that big. Take a walk across and you'll really get a feel for how big it is and just how cool it is. And I just like having everything connected. Eventually, when we get builds over here, it won't seem so in the middle of nowhere. So, but yeah. Again, I just like how this forest creates the view revelation. So you're walking through and you get a view of the house there, and come up here and start off with a good view of the town. But then it kind of gets blocked off here, which like I've said a few times, it's just really cool to separate your builds from each other. And just get down here and all of a sudden you're in the farm area and you can't even tell that town's up there, even though it's only 30 blocks to my left. But yeah, the farm came out really cool. I had this in mind and had a vision for it when I laid the plans out, and it just totally came to fruition here. A couple of the interiors that I don't have finished, because this is my most recent project, I'll just make a storage out of the silo, and I do plan on a villager wheat farm in the windmill. And I just turned this into stables, going to be a horse stables. We'll have the cows outside. And I do really like this view of the townhouses. I think that's just really cool there, especially with the chimneys. And at night, I think that's a really cool view there. And yeah, just added a few decorations around down here and brought it to life. Villagers will come down and farm the carrots. I should put some tracks under there with the hopper cart that'll pick up the carrots. That'd be a cool idea. I figure I should show you the wheat farm here, which this is all blocked off, so the villagers won't farm this. But I can come down and farm it if I need a whole bunch of wheat at some time, and it is all hydrated, so it would be real easy to replant. And yeah, last place we're going to walk through is kind of a plans for the future idea, even though I won't be getting started on it for a little while now, but it is something I have in mind that'll be cool. Got our lighthouse down here, which I built just a couple episodes ago, and I think it's just a great addition to the world just because it sticks out and just has something out here sticking out into the water and just kind of connects the island and the hill up there. And I plan on this just being a place to store my sea items and corals and all that. And we'll get it decorated and looking cool. And then I had the idea to drop down here and have a little aquarium, which I thought was a good idea, and I'm still probably going to do that, but I'm also going to drop even below that. And I'm going a lot bigger, and I'm actually going to turn this into kind of my main storage area for everything over here. Even though I've got all the buildings to kind of store all the individual items, but it is nice having just one bulk place to have a little bit of everything. And I look forward to getting this going, and once I get that built up, I'm thinking it might inspire me to kind of do more underwater builds and get kind of a underwater city going over here at some point. But that's a very long-term goal. And that does it for the walkthrough portion of the tour here. I do want to go ahead and hop into a creative copy of the world here just to get a couple nice views from above and also show you how you look up your day count in Minecraft Bedrock. So here we are in creative mode. And yeah, I went many years wishing I knew how to look my day count up in Minecraft Bedrock. First, get a nice little view from above here of the villager island, which I just think is so cool. But yeah, if you want to look your day count up, you just make a creative copy of your world, and then in the chat you type in /time Curie day, and then it'll pop up with your day count. 1887. So we're just under 1900 days, which I feel like I've done pretty well. I'm happy with the pace I'm going at. I mean, I think there might be a lot of people who will get a lot more done in 1900 days, but I haven't been rushing things necessarily. I've just been enjoying my builds and taking my time. There's still a lot I haven't done. I don't have netherite armor. I'm yet to go to a ancient city. I haven't beaten the wither. There's a lot I haven't done for 1900 days, but yeah, I think this is a really cool view here from this side that you all haven't seen very much. And I know I mentioned it in my last episode, but I figure I should mention it again. After all of this, I'm actually going to be leaving this area for a while here. And I'm really excited to get going on Season 2. We're going to call this Let's Play series Linland. That's kind of the name of the world itself, and then I'm going to break it up into sections, going off and getting fresh starts in different areas every now and then. Just give myself some criteria to come back here. Believe me, the spawn areas and areas surrounding is definitely a project I always plan on working on, so I'll always come back here, and it'll be my long-term project of, it'll be the biggest of the projects, but I do like the idea of just kind of going off and starting completely fresh somewhere else and getting established somewhere else in the world. Like I said, we haven't moved anywhere from the spawn area for a year. So I'm excited for a fresh start. So keep your eyes open for episode 1, season 2. So yeah, with that, I want to say I really appreciate you all coming along, and especially those of you that stuck it out here till the bitter end. If you're new around here and liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope to keep coming with videos and content of this style. So if you like what you saw here, I hope for lots more to come. But yeah, anyways, I would like to thank you all again for coming, and have a good day.